Hello and good morning. So today we'll start the relationship of anthropology with other disciplines, right? As anthropology studies men in totality, right? That means all aspects of humankind. So if it studies all aspects, naturally anthropology have some overlappings with other disciplines. Isn't it? It has some overlappings with other disciplines. So if it overlaps in terms of subject matter, subject matter means what is the subject of study, right? So there is similarity in with other disciplines in terms of subject matter. Then there can be similarity in methodologies or the methods adopted to study. Right. There can be similarity in focus, right, or relevance. What is the purpose, right, in some areas, and there may be difference. Differences means anthropology stand out as a unique discipline that is distinct from other disciplines, right? So in this lecture we will trace out the relationships of similarities and differences, right? There are many scholars from both sides. Suppose we are talking about anthropology and sociology. So there are many sociologists whose works we celebrate and study, right, in anthropology. There are many works of anthropologists which are studied by sociologists, right? There are many works of political thinkers that we study in anthropology. There are many works of philosophers that we study in anthropology. There are many methods of philosophy that we study under anthropology. There are methods of economics that we study under anthropology, right? We try to trace out the ways or modes of production of the simple societies, right? That is the theme of economics, but we study under anthropology, right? So these are the relationships, and by these relationships we can better understand the breadth of anthropology, right? How it shares boundaries with other disciplines. That is our object of today's lecture, right? So let us start with the relationship of anthropology with sociology or social sciences. Some scholars say both are one and the same. One scholar say both are twin sisters, right? See, anthropology studies men, sociology also studies men. So both are similar. Anthropology studies the holistic study of man. Here it concentrates on the social aspect of man, right? Society, social networks, social institutions is the main focus of sociological studies, right? It studies physical aspect as well, linguistic aspect, archaeological aspect. All the aspects are covered under physical anthropology, under anthropology. All aspects are studied under anthropology. So biological aspect is not ignored, but here its focus is on society, social institutions, social networks, right? Social structure, role and status. Then here anthropology focus is on primitive societies, simple societies, right? Sociology, it is mainly concerned with modern society, our society that we live in. It tries to understand gender relations, caste, right, and other considerations related to our society, right? Then the methods adopted by anthropologists are participant observation, field research, or you can say primary methods of data collection. Primary methods in which we go to the people, to their own world, and we collect data from there with our own senses. Sociologists rely on secondary data, such as secondary data is the data collected by you and I am using that, because I am not the direct collector of the data. You collected it and I have utilized that, right? Yes. So sociologists basically they rely on secondary data. Okay, so their methods or the tools of data collection are not participant. Purpose of anthropology is to know the human behavior in a holistic manner, right? And cultural relativism is the key or the hallmark of anthropology. We do not try to reform the societies that we study. We do not focus on a peculiar problem, only one single problem, right? We do not focus on any peculiar or single problem. No. Here, sociologists study only a narrow dimension of our nature, right? On a single problem, such as divorce, right? Such as communal violence. So they focus on a single problem, a narrow area. Then anthropologists do not try to reform. They study people as they are. Whatever their worldview is, whatever cultural practices they are, we try to learn from them what they do, how they, and how their way of adaptation can be utilized by the larger. That is our purpose under anthropology. Here the purpose is reformative also, to give certain laws, right? They try to reform. We do not try to reform anthropology. We do not say that the tribals should do this, right? We learn from them. Whatever they are at their place, they are adapted to a particular environment. They live in a particular culture. They have typical practices, right? Why do they have? How those practices came into being? What is the utility of those practices? Does those practices undergone any kind of change over time? If undergone change, what has led to those changes? All these we try to learn going to those people, right? So did you understand all these things, all these differences that I just told you? Write these down, because whatever I will give you, they will be substantiating all these points only, right? So they are both are similar, both can be called as twin sisters, both are one and the same, because the object of study is man, the subject of study is human, right? but they are different. One is holistic and other is atomistic, right? It incorporates physical aspect of the man as well, but sociology concentrate on the social aspect. Anthropology, although anthropology studies entire humanity, but the focus is on primitive society, right? The focus of sociology is on the modern society. ये आपको थोड़ा सा mental horizons को खोलेगा, whatever I just told you. Now I will give you some notes on this also. This participant, secondary, peculiar, no peculiar or one dimension is being studied, right? We study everything in a holistic manner, but they concentrate on a single problem. They don't try to reform. Sociologists try to reform the societies they study.